How would you feel if you saw a homeless person sleeping behind your business every night? Sadly, many people might react with doubt or dislike toward those they don't understand. It's easy to judge others based on their appearance, thinking we're better because we look nicer, have clean clothes, or a home. It's really unfortunate. Luckily, some people rise above these prejudices and teach us the value of keeping an open mind. They show us that a little kindness can make a big difference for those in need. Today's story takes us to Fairway, Tennessee, where longtime respected gym owner Justin Campbell will demonstrate the true meaning of charity. Campbell, 40 years old, was a lifelong member of the God Boy Gym in Memphis. In fact, he himself was a student of the gym's former owner, Mr. Parker, who went out of his way to care for each and every person who entered his gym. For him, they were more than just members. They were part of his family, and he cared about their lives as if he were a father to them. And that is precisely what he was to Campbell during his childhood, the father he never had. For Justin, Mr. Brandon Parker was like family. His own father had been in jail since Justin was 3, and his mother, an alcoholic, barely spoke to him. Mr. Parker found Justin, then 7, dirty, hungry, and lost near the gym. He helped Justin turn his life around, restored his faith, and taught him boxing, which became Justin's passion. Although Justin never became a professional boxer, he chose to follow in Mr. Parker's footsteps as a trainer and owner of God Boy Gym. As Mr. Parker aged and developed Alzheimer's, he needed more help. When Mr. Parker went missing because of his memory loss, Justin decided to place him in a medical facility and take full charge of the gym. At the age of 35, Justin had already earned the respect and affection of the whole neighborhood. He was very happy to take over from Brandon and continue helping all the young people who, like him, needed guidance and support. Justin Campbell found a refuge in boxing for his life. Mr. Parker passed away 5 years later due to the advanced stage of his illness. He barely recognized anyone and spoke very little, but he left this world in peace, accompanied by his best friends and some of the longtime members of his gym, whom he had always considered his family. Brandon Parker did not have much money. His only possession in life was his gym. It didn't make him rich, far from it, but it brought him much more than any millionaire's salary could ever provide. Since he hadn't married and had no children or direct relatives to leave a legacy to, there was only one person, Justin Campbell, to whom he bequeathed his gym, his house, a small apartment 2 blocks from the gym, and all his savings. When the notary read Parker's will, Campbell couldn't hold back tears. "Everything I have is for Justin Campbell, the person who made me realize that family goes beyond blood, and to whom I owe all the happiness and love of my last years of life," Brandon Parker had written. After his mentor's death, Campbell worked hard to improve the gym, renovating it and offering new sports services to attract more members. His efforts paid off, and today, God Boy Gym is one of the top 5 gyms in Memphis. Campbell is now a respected trainer known among young boxing hopefuls. Campbell feels grateful for his success and always remembers to stay humble, knowing he owes a lot to Mr. Parker. He reminds himself daily to be thankful and to help others as he was helped. Recently, while locking up the gym, Campbell noticed someone sleeping in one of his old cars behind the building. As the last one to leave, Campbell realized he wasn't alone and found this unexpected situation. "Damn, another bum snuck into the car," he said to himself as he realized who it was. In the last few months, crime and the appearance of panhandlers sleeping in every corner of the neighborhood had multiplied, and for Campbell, this was the 3rd homeless man to sneak into the back of his gym. At first, he tried to be nice and offered them another place where they could stay, but seeing that they all reacted aggressively and with insults, he decided to stop being nice and be more assertive with them. And that's what he intended to do with that beggar. He would throw him out of there quickly and make it clear that this was not his place. Hearing him scream, the person hiding between a couple of dirty blankets woke up very frightened and ran away. Justin thought that was the end of the story, but that was not the case, because the next day, he saw the same individual in the same place. Campbell steeled his patience and again asked the stranger to leave. However, the man never left completely. This situation dragged on for weeks. Night after night, Campbell would close his gym, and there would be the stranger sleeping in the car. It became a routine for the two of them. Campbell would ask him to leave, he would leave, and the next day, he'd come back. Nothing changed, except it was becoming increasingly difficult for Campbell to send him away, because he already felt a strange familiarity with him, even if he didn't know who he was. The man had been there for so long that Campbell began to worry about him, and that led him to make a decision that would change everything. One night, as he was getting ready to close the gym and heading toward the back, Campbell had an idea. Instead of kicking the man out like always, he would invite him into the gym to warm up and offer him a hot cup of coffee. During all those weeks he had tried to get rid of the stranger, Campbell finally decided to reach out instead. He forgot something very important that he always repeated to himself: to be humble and help those who needed it most, just like Mr. Parker helped him when he was a kid, wandering the streets of Memphis, crying. Before he could knock on the window of the car where the young man was crawling to sleep, Campbell said to himself, "You know what? Go back to the gym, make a hot cup of coffee, and offer it to him." Campbell recalls this moment as he spoke to a local news reporter who wanted to share his story. What neither of them could have expected was that this simple gesture of kindness would end up changing both of their lives. What Campbell brought to the young man that night was much more than just a cup of coffee. It was a new way of looking at life. That night, Campbell approached him with understanding and compassion, and suddenly, the homeless man he kept yelling at to leave was no longer an anonymous stranger, but a young man with a very complicated story. The two shared a hot cup of coffee that evening, and little by little, a beautiful relationship began to blossom. Campbell learned that the stranger's name was Frank Stewart, and he also learned about Frank's troubled childhood, his struggles with alcohol as a teenager, and his deep desire to change his circumstances and become someone better. Their relationship grew every day through their long conversations. Soon, Campbell began helping Frank get his ID card, providing him with new clothes, and taking him to job interviews. Frank even went from sleeping in old cars behind the gym to a couch at Campbell's house. Justin became like a father to him, protecting him and guiding him down the right path in life. Some people need more than one chance. Most kids take a while to stop making mistakes. I was a complicated kid myself and needed a lot of help and patience to grow into the man I am now, Campbell admits in his interview. However, Frank's growing up was not so straightforward. They both admitted that their relationship had its own turbulence and required patience on both sides. They didn't always agree and argued about many things, but they learned to trust each other and become more tolerant, just like in any parent-child relationship. In the end, Frank's friendship with Campbell transformed both of their lives. Campbell's support gave Frank the stability and confidence to find a new job and pursue his dreams. Frank now feels fulfilled and grateful, attributing his positive change to Campbell's kindness. For Campbell, helping Frank change his perspective on people and showed him the power of compassion beyond his usual work. Their story highlights the importance of keeping an open mind and helping others, as you never know when you might need the same support. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you.